Imagine this. You're lying face down in the dirt of your own driveway. Zip ties cutting into your wrists. Police knee on your back. While your 10-year-old daughter watches through the window sobbing and hugging her stuffed rabbit like it's the only thing keeping her world from collapsing. All because the HOA president, decked out in Lululemon armor and armed with a clipboard, decided you're trespassing on the land your grandfather bought with blood money after Vietnam. Yeah. That was me. And the woman who orchestrated the whole circus? Her name was Karen Whitaker. 6 months earlier, life was quiet. The kind of quiet you learn to appreciate after cancer rips your wife out of the picture in under a year. My name's Jack Thompson. My daughter Lily is 10. She still sleeps with the bunny Emily gave her the day she turned 5. Emily's gone now, but the land isn't. 22 acres of stubborn dirt my grandfather refused to sell, no matter how many developers wave checks. Land is roots, he used to say. Roots don't move. Turns out he was right. Our old farmhouse sat smack in the middle of what used to be rolling fields. Then the bulldozers showed up. They built a cookie-cutter paradise around us, McMansions with 3-car garages, identical mailboxes, lawns mowed to pudding green perfection. They named it Harmony Hills. I kid you not. And because my deed was older than their entire marketing department, my property was never part of their HOA covenant. Legally, I owed them nothing. Not 1 cent. Not 1 blade of grass. First, it was almost funny. People would slow roll past in their Teslas, staring like we were a museum exhibit. Look, honey, a real live farmhouse in the middle of our utopia. A few even brought welcome baskets, until they realized we weren't on the HOA roster. Then the smiles vanished. Suddenly my work truck, a perfectly respectable F-150 with a few honest dents, became an eyesore. My split-rail fence was non-compliant. My daughter's tire swing? Visual pollution. Lily noticed first. Kids at the bus stop whispering. Moms steering their precious spawn away when we walked by. One afternoon she asked me, voice tiny, "Dad, are we the bad guys?" I knelt down, looked her in the eye. No, sweetheart. Some people just don't like anything that doesn't match their Pinterest board. Then Karen Whitaker moved in. 3 houses down. White Range Rover. Giant sunglasses. Hair that looked like it cost more than my monthly mortgage. She was elected HOA president before the drywall was even taped. First time she rolled up to my gate, she didn't even get out of the car. Just lowered the window 2 inches and announced, "You must be the holdout." I wiped my hands on my jeans. Jack Thompson. And you are Karen Whitaker, president of the Harmony Hills Homeowners Association. She said it like she expected a salute. We've received multiple complaints about your aesthetic. Multiple? I asked, raising an eyebrow. From who? She waved a manicured hand. The community has standards, Mr. Thompson. Your property is negatively impacting curb appeal. I smiled. This property isn't part of Harmony Hills. Never was. She tilted her head like I just confessed to eating with the wrong fork. Everything within these boundaries falls under our architectural review committee. I pulled the laminated deed copy from my back pocket, the one I started carrying the day the first survey stake went in. County records. Recorded exemption. I'm afraid your committee doesn't have jurisdiction here. She didn't even glance at the paper. Just pushed it back with one finger like it carried cooties. We'll see about that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the moment the war began. Started small. Petty. The kind of stuff you almost laugh at until you realize it's being done to your child. First came the courtesy notice taped to my mailbox. Bright pink paper. Comic Sans font. Non-approved vegetation observed. Remove within 7 days or face fine. They were talking about the wildflower patch lily and I planted together. Daisies and black-eyed Susans Emily used to love. I crumpled it and tossed it in the recycling. 2 days later, another notice. This one about my unapproved farm equipment visible from public right-of-way. Translation: my 1987 John Deere tractor parked behind the barn. On my land. I ignored that one too. Then the trash appeared. Overnight. Someone dumped 3 hefty bags at my gate, Starbucks cups, fast food wrappers, even a dirty diaper. Classy. Lily saw it and whispered, "Did the wind blow someone's garbage over?" I didn't have the heart to tell her the truth. Next came the Facebook campaign. I wasn't even in the group, but screenshots found their way to me. Top post. Pinned by Karen herself. Update. The non-compliant parcel at the center of our community continues to disregard established guidelines. The board is exploring all legal avenues to protect property values. Flexed biceps, Harmony Hills, community first. Comments exploded. Those people are killing our resale value, pouting face. Why don't they just sell and move? Someone needs to teach them manners. Someone even tagged me. I wasn't in the group. Didn't matter. Then the cones. Bright orange traffic cones. One morning I walked out to find my entire driveway entrance blocked. No signage. No explanation. Just cones. I moved them to the ditch. When I turned around, Karen was standing on the sidewalk with her phone out. Recording. Smiling like she'd just won the lottery. She didn't say a word. She didn't have to. But the line was crossed the day Lily came home from school crying. She wouldn't look at me. Just stared at her sneakers. Kids said, "You're a squatter, Daddy." They said we don't really live here. That we're stealing land. I pulled the truck over right there on the side of the road. Took a breath. Then another. "Lily. Look at me." She did. Eyes red. "This land is ours. Your grandfather bought it. Your mother loved it. You have nothing to be ashamed of." She sniffed. "Then why do they hate us?" I swallowed hard. "Because some people think if you don't look like them, you must be wrong." That night I started documenting. Every notice. Every photo. Every screenshot. I called my buddy from the Guard, now a real estate paralegal. He laughed when I told him. "Bro, HOA Karens are the worst. They think a clipboard is a scepter. Document everything. And quietly start looking at their financials." I did. Turns out, Harmony Hills had taken out a massive development loan to build the clubhouse, the pool, the entrance gates, the whole fantasy package. The lender? A small regional bank that got bought out by a bigger fish. And when banks get bought out, sometimes liens get sold off cheap. I bought the lien. Quietly. For pennies on the dollar. And waited. The harassment ramped up. Fake violation stickers on my truck. Anonymous calls to code enforcement. Even a petition to have my property rezoned commercial agriculture so they could force me out. Karen was everywhere. Always polite on the surface. Always venom underneath. One afternoon she cornered me at the mailbox. "Mr. Thompson, we're trying to resolve this amicably. By dumping trash at my gate?" She blinked. Innocent. I have no idea what you're talking about, right? We just want harmony. You want control. She smiled that tight, pitying smile. Semantics. I didn't argue. I just kept collecting paper. Then came the night that started it all. I was in the garage working on a bookshelf for Lily when the blue and red lights lit up the yard. 2 squad cars. For officers. And Karen, standing on my property line in athleisure and heels, arms crossed, looking triumphant. They cuffed me. Right in front of my daughter. Karen stepped forward, voice dripping honey. Officers, this man is trespassing. He has been notified multiple times. He refuses to vacate. I didn't resist. Just looked at the lead officer. Check the deed. It's in my name. Always has been. He sighed. Pulled out his phone. Looked up the parcel. Then he looked at Karen. Ma'am, this is his property. Her smile froze. Excuse me? The entire development sits on land encumbered by a lien this gentleman now holds. Karen laughed. Nervous. That's impossible. The officer turned his phone toward her. Public record. Says here the lien was assigned 3 weeks ago. I met her eyes. Calm. You just called the police on your landlord. The color drained from her face. And that, my friends, was only the beginning. The lien gave me the right to foreclose on the common areas, the roads, sidewalks, pool, clubhouse, everything the HOA owned. They scheduled the auction. The courthouse was packed. Homeowners. Reporters. Karen in a white blazer, hair perfect, entourage in tow. She looked like she was about to accept an Oscar. The auctioneer read the minimum bid, $287,400, the outstanding balance. Karen stood first. The Harmony Hills HOA is prepared to protect our investment. She handed over a folder like it was the Constitution. Then it was my turn. I walked up slow, placed my folder down. The auctioneer flipped through. Nodded. Credit bid accepted. Lien holder present. Karen's head snapped around so fast I thought she'd get whiplash. That's impossible. He can't. Auctioneer. Credit bid is valid. Ma'am, she hissed. I bid $310,000. Auctioneer. Proof of funds. Her lawyer fumbled. Then a voice from the back. 2 homeowners stood up holding printed bylaws. She doesn't have board approval to spend that. She can't commit HOA funds without a vote. Karen spun. Sit down. You have no authority. Another voice. You lied about the reserves. You spent our money on your lawyer. The room erupted. Phones out. Filming. Karen's voice cracked. This is my community. Auctioneer. Unmoved. No verified funds. Bid disqualified. Silence. Last call. Gavel fell. Sold to the lien holder. I stepped forward. Room dead quiet. I looked at Karen. I now own every inch of common ground in Harmony Hills. Every road. Every sidewalk. Every blade of grass you've been standing on while calling me a trespasser. I paused. You called the cops on your landlord. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. Then the tears started. Not pretty ones. Ugly. Mascara streaked. This can't be happening tears. This isn't fair, she whimpered. This was supposed to be my neighborhood. The crowd didn't comfort her. They just backed away. I filed the paperwork next day. HOA board dissolved. No more fines. No more rules. No more Karen. A week later, neighbors started showing up at my door. One guy, retired engineer, always trimmed his hedges at 7 a.m. Sharp stood there with a six-pack. "I'm sorry, man. We were scared of her." A woman brought cookies. Handwritten note, "We didn't know. I didn't lecture. Just nodded." Then I called a meeting. No boardroom. No podium. Just folding chairs in the park next to Lily's wildflower garden. I told them straight, we don't need fear to be neighbors. We need respect. So here's the deal: voluntary association. No mandatory dues. No fines. If something bothers you, talk to the person. Not a clipboard. Someone actually cried. We get to live without being afraid? I smiled. Yeah. You do. Then I told them about the scholarship fund in Emily's name. First deposit, $12,000. For kids who want to be nurses or teachers. When I said Emily's name, my voice cracked. Just once. And I let it. Afterward, people stayed. Kids played. Someone fired up a grill. Someone else brought lemonade. Lily ran over with seed packets. "Where should we plant Mommy's new flowers?" "Right here," I said. Front and center. She knelt. Dirt under her nails. No fear in her eyes. Neighbors joined. Grandparents. Young couples. Toddlers with plastic shovels. For the first time in years, it felt like home. 3 months later, life is simple again. Lily waits for the bus without whispering. She laughs loud. She runs across the yard like it belongs to her, because it does. Some nights we sit by the wildflowers. She talks to her mom like she's right there. I just listen. The neighborhood changed too. People wave. Kids ride bikes. No one checks mailbox colors. And Karen? Last I heard, she moved. Quietly. No goodbye. No drama. Just gone. Funny how that works. The people who scream loudest about community are usually the ones most afraid of actual neighbors. So tell me, who's really the trespasser here? The guy who owned the land all along? Or the woman who thought a clipboard gave her the right to own people? Drop your thoughts below. And if you've ever dealt with an HOA Karen, I want to hear it. Because trust me, there are more of us than they think.